Hello everyone, Mark here. I just thought I'd do a video on something that's very close to my heart, and it involves my beautiful wife, Cora. Cora Lee Latham. Wow, where do I start? Where do I start with this beautiful woman? My wife, my friend, my soulmate. 10 years we'll have been married tomorrow. 10 whole years. And you know what? These 10 years have gone by in a heartbeat. They've flown by. But when I think about the years that we've had together and what we've been through together, it's been mesmerizing actually when I think back. I've done a lot of meditating on this over the last few weeks with this build up towards our 10th anniversary. The beautiful thing about having an allotment, a garden allotment, is that I can grow vegetables, and I can be in that environment with the birds singing and the sun shining, or raining for that matter, on my own, and it gives you plenty of time to just contemplate, to meditate, to think about things, and to think about what's important in your life. And I think all of us should be doing a lot more of that. I think more and more of us are spending all of our time on our phones, on the computers, and we're not actually getting down to the grassroots of what we're here for. What is our life about? Who are the people that we love, that are close to us, that are important to us? And it brings me back to this beautiful woman called Cora Lee Latham, my wife. 10 years married tomorrow, our anniversary. And I just wanted to say something public about her, that I love this woman with all my heart. I absolutely think the world of her. And she has enhanced my life to such a degree. She's made it very special. She's allowed me to become a free man to be able to think what I want to think, go where I want to go, do what I want to do. And it's because of that that I don't go anywhere. I stay right here next to her side because that's where I want to be. I want to please her. Because I know who she is. I've got to know who she is. So who is Cora Lee Latham? Who is this beautiful woman that so many people within her family now shun, completely shun, have nothing to do with her? In fact, I would even go as far as to say they hate her. Some of them actually hate her. That's very clear from the actions of this so-called family of hers. Cora is right at her centre a very warm, heartfelt, generous, positive person. Whenever she's in company with people, even when she's feeling very down, they'll never see it, because she puts up another level to be able to say to people, I want to enjoy your company. And she does that. And she does it with such a degree of energy that I'm inspired by her. She really does work hard at just being a loving, wonderful person. And if there's anything negative there, I don't see it. She works hard at just trying to be positive. The reason I'm doing this video about her is to show that there are individuals that when we first got married that were looking to destroy our marriage from the day we got married by applying pressure, by applying slander and hateful comments, working hard to try and split us up. And it didn't work. It really didn't work. Did it, Watchtower? Did it, local elders? You failed, and you failed miserably. In fact, what you did was draw us even closer together and our family together, and made us strong, very strong, older and wiser. But the things about Cora that I find inspirational is that she can be very incisive in how she sees things. She is that eagle in the sky that can see a mouse a mile down on the floor, that can look at that and think, I know exactly where it is, when others can't see it. She's extremely socially aware and socially intelligent of everything around her. And I bounce off her with many things when we've been out talking to different people, and I find her incredible in her knowledge and foresight on how she sees events and sees people. But she does it in a loving way, always positive, always looking for the ways to upbuild and to build bridges, never to tear down. The times that we have spoken up, and there are times that we've done that, they're very rare, but we have done it, is when we see harm being done in our families, with our friends, or indeed within the community that we belong to, of the XJW community. But most of the time it's always to upbuild. She's very loving, she's very sensitive, and she's extremely intelligent. She's a wonderful artist, brilliant if only she could have gone to college. She still can if she wants to do that. She's still a young woman. There's nothing to stop her doing whatever she wants, and she has my full blessing for doing that. She's extremely talented with a pencil, and she can draw things that I find awe-inspiring. She has a talent for artistry. She has a talent for fixing things, the computer, kitchen appliances, learning how to program the TV, everything. I mean, I can't even turn a TV on without looking at her and saying, darling, what am I doing wrong? Which button should I be pressing? She's straight in there. Has she ever been trained with these things? No. Was her education at school poor? It was very poor. She left school at a very young age with no education. Thank you, Watchtower, for that. Thank you. But you know what? She's built up an environment around her, and she's been able to adapt to that, and she can adapt to most circumstances and make a real change in people's lives. And that includes everything from painting and decorating right the way through to looking at someone's social fabric. She's a very special lady like that. And just because she doesn't have a formal education does not mean that this isn't a very intelligent, incisive, socially aware individual, because she certainly is. And I love her for that. I love everything about her for that. It gives her an edge that maybe others who have those top academic qualifications might not see, or might not have that certain edge. I don't know. I can only talk for my wife. It's because of those things that I look at her and I feel that because of the years we've been together, she's freed me. She's allowed me to process what religion that we belong to. She's allowed me to process it, where I've been able to talk things through with her and get rid of those negatives and understand that we can do something positive here. Hence, when we went on YouTube and started to extol the virtues of being a free person or free people and get on with our lives within outside of Watchtower. She's very good at being able to talk to people. The amount of people that have spoken to her and talked to her and that she's helped in the past regarding them finding a recovery, looking for ways to get themselves out of the cult. And although she can't wake people up, because we can't do that, we can't wake people up. They have to wake themselves up. What Cora is really good at is befriending them, having a laugh with them. And somewhere along the line, some of that rubs off. And they can see that by suggesting certain books, certain ways, certain channels to go on, certain areas of information to go and look at, they can start to recover. Find out who they truly are. Whether or not they have a faith, whether or not they're atheist, it doesn't matter. That's for the individual to work out for themselves, and only themselves. The important thing that Cora is passionate about is allowing the person to realise that it's okay to do that. It's okay to be free to choose. It's okay, regardless of what people tell you, you are free to choose, and it's worth paying the price. And Cora has paid a very heavy price to be able to say that and to be qualified to say that. Her own mother's funeral is one of the most horrific things I have ever experienced in my life. Standing there holding her hand in a tight grip as we stood waiting to be able to go into the crematorium with over 150 people, I guess, that were there. She was the only daughter of Joe, who was in the coffin at the crematorium as we entered. She only just got a seat at the back. But while we waited outside, the hatred and the looks and the atmosphere of these people who were staring at Cora as if she was some sort of foreign body, as if she was not worthy to be there, as if somehow they had the right to look at her and to barge in front of her as we were allowed to go into the crematorium. She took that and she held her head high, and she held my hand and gripped it tight, and she showed no emotion. She wouldn't allow them to see exactly what she was doing, what they were doing to both of us. It was an horrendous day, that funeral, and it was something that will stay with me for the rest of my life. I have been back to the crematorium since, and just stood in exactly that position in the area where all these people were stood there staring at her like she was some sort of pariah. And yet she was the daughter of the deceased, the only one. And this is how they treated her. It's not loving. It's not Christian. The reason I mention that is that although her mother died shunning her, and you can watch the video Shunning at its very best, it's had over 100,000 views, some wonderful comments on there from a lot of people, some very loving comments, and we thank you for all those comments. She was inspirational that day. Although she showed humility on another level, although this veracity of hatred that was being piled on her, that she wasn't even welcome there, that she remained humble, she remained dignified, she remained intelligent, and she kept her wits about her. And her elegance as she walked into the crematorium, her elegance as she walked out of the crematorium, was something I will never ever forget. And I loved her so much that day. I saw things in her that you see under adversity. When somebody's going through trials, you see the real person coming out. What is this person made of? What is their substance? What is the salt of this individual when they are being put under such a trial, such an attack of pure hatred? I'm not exaggerating when I call it that, because that's exactly what it was. Many of my other relatives that were with us that day, that are not Jehovah's Witnesses, could see it firsthand as outsiders. And they were shocked to the bone at what they saw and felt terribly sorry for Cora. Cora on the day took it in a stride, and we realised what we were dealing with when we went through Joe's funeral. That aside, she has great strength, and it's all of these things: her humility, her tact, her strength, her ability to see beyond, and her ability to make and build bridges and be positive, loving. She'd give her last penny away. In fact, she has done many a time, sometimes to my frustration when we've needed to get shopping in. She's done it. And then I look and I think, I love her for that. I love this woman. And I will never change from loving her. How could I? She's beautiful on the outside, but more importantly, she's beautiful on the inside. As for the Watchtower, I have a message for you directly from both of us. And I know that my dear wife would back me up on this if she was sat here now. You didn't break us. All those that are these avid followers of Watchtower that tried to suppress us, tried to break us, tried to split us apart all those years ago, you failed, and you failed terribly. That's the way it is. We're stronger for it, we're older for it, and older and wiser, as they say. But we're 10 years on now, and I smile. I smile at the whole thing. I smile at the fact that regardless of everything that's happened in our lives, I have a wonderful, wonderful wife who I'm really blessed. It doesn't matter about riches. What matters is the love and the manifestation of that love that comes out from her and then into our family. And after 10 years of marriage to her, it's been amazing. And I'm desperate for another 10. And I just hope they go a bit slower this time. I've been told that the world gets quicker as you get older. Well, I really hope that I can savour every day. And I would say to anybody out there that's left the cult or is recovering from the cult, if you have family and friends that are still in, don't ever give up on them. Never give up, because people are changing in their droves. Many are awake but will never admit it. Many are awake and they admit it but are staying in quietly and just waiting for the opportune time to leave this high control grouping of people that manifest such hatred. And they're making lives for themselves. Well, if anybody is an inspiration as far as I can see, then it's Cora, my wife. She has a whole family shunning her. Recently her auntie died, passed away, and we know that her auntie, like her mother, they were sisters at the time, was shunning Cora. And I won't disrespect her. Her auntie passed away, and we feel very sad about that, very sad for the family, because it was unexpected. But once again, here is another individual, the only niece I might add, and her brother decided to at least let her know that she'd passed away. That was the one phone call we had. But when it came to the funeral, Cora was never informed. Cora didn't know when her auntie was being buried or cremated. We still don't know to this day. So we weren't welcome there, and Cora wasn't welcome to at least pay her respects to her auntie, her one auntie. And it's just another example. And she's faced this all the way through with her mother, her father, who on a whole new level, on another level, has abused her in many ways, and her cousins. So she's been cut off, cut for everybody. But you know what she said to me a long time ago now? She said, Mark, my family starts here. The buck stops with me. I will never shun my family. I will never shun my children. We will show them the real love, and we will follow that path, and we will manifest that. And do you know what? It's proved to be the right choice. Of course, everything we discuss together as a couple. Another example is her grandmother lives literally, is still alive, around the corner from us, a few hundred yards. If she sees Cora coming, she'll cross the road. Won't have anything to do with her. But she wants to have a relationship, and has had a relationship with our daughter, Charlotte, who's coming up to 13 very shortly. And this created another problem for us, another dilemma, that once the dust had settled and we left the religion, the cult, her grandmother left messages on our phone saying that she wanted to be in contact with her great-grandchild, which is Charlotte. So here is the dilemma that Cora, who's now been shunned, she lived through all of this terrible funeral fiasco and everything else. No family left. Her grandmother now gets in contact to say, I want to have a relationship with my great-grandchild. So we discussed that in depth. And we looked at all the scenarios of saying, yes, we'll let her go. No, we won't let her go. If we say no, what are your justifications for saying no? But we kept coming back to the same premise. And we both agreed that love conquers all. That we are better than shunning. If the grandmother of Cora wants to shun and continue shunning, we will stand there, look her in the eye and smile and say, we're happy and we're waiting for you to change because we love you and we're not going to shun you back. And combined with that was the intelligent thinking that our daughter Charlotte will not have her great-grandmother around for many years to come. She's very elderly now, and we wanted our daughter to at least have memories of her great-grandmother. That was important to us, and also to show her that although she was shunning, stroke hating her mum, we weren't willing to tolerate that, and we would just allow her to carry on and have that relationship as long as they didn't indoctrinate her in any way and show her any of that awful literature that they still have. We've talked that through and been extremely transparent with Charlotte, who's once again, like her mother, very savvy, very intelligent, and understood what was going on, but wanted to still be loving towards her great-grandmother. So the balance was it was a very fine balance and could easily tip one way or the other. But we've gone with our decision and we haven't regretted it. And Charlotte has had a relationship with her great-grandmother. They don't talk about the religion, as far as I know, and because she comes back and there's no reason for Charlotte to say anything other than she said, we've discussed this and this, and they have a nice day together. But she also knows that her great-grandmother has a major flaw, and it's called the Watchtower, and she's dictated to by that, and therefore she shuns her mother. So this took great strength for Cora. Great strength, because imagine having your heart ripped out by your family, and then you're allowing your daughter to continue having a relationship. Now there are many others that see it another way completely, and we totally respect that. We totally respect other people's view. We don't allow our children to go anywhere near, and these are the reasons why. And there are lots of different circumstances, extremely complex, and it's only the individual can make the right choice. The parents they're the only ones, and nobody should judge either way. But I mention it because Cora looked at it and said, let's do it. Let's go with what we know in our gut on this, and we'll stick to the strength. We'll stick to the harder path for us, because it would have been so easy to just say no because you're shunning Cora. We felt, no, that's not the right way forward. And we took what we felt was a harder path. And it's paid dividends, because Charlotte is very balanced with it and we're very transparent with her. And Cora has a strong relationship with her daughter and vice versa. And if you think about it, as Cora said, as I mentioned earlier, the buck stops with me, she said. We're never going down this road again. And so she's showing leadership, she's showing love, and she's showing consideration for other human beings and allowing them to flourish and still have relationships with people that maybe we would, in a real justification, we'd have justification to say no to. That's why I love her. That's why I admire her tenacity and her patience to follow through and not allow her emotions to get in the way. And these are clear qualities that she's got. I think I've mentioned the fact she can repair God knows what. She's a brilliant artist as well. She can put her mind to most things when she's asked to do something. She loves antiques. It's something that's becoming a real passion for her. She's very arty that way. And you can put her in a room with a bunch of people and they won't forget her. The next day they'll, who's that lady? Cora. She was lovely. She can blend in. She dovetails in with different types of people for different occasions. And not because she's fraudulently acting, it's because she wants to be involved with these people. She wants to dovetail. She wants to find out who they are, because she learns as she speaks. Once again, her mind is wide open to everything around her, and she's inquisitive. Another quality. And if there's very rarely that she gets things wrong. And I don't even know why I'm saying this on camera, because she'll use it against me. One day when that's another thing. I try not to have arguments with her, because I never win. And I don't know if anybody else has that issue. I never win with Cora. There's always she can remember arguments and things I've said from years ago, and it's almost as if it's written in script form, and I've got no chance. She's on another level with that sort of thing. So I think I just sometimes get away with it by looking at her with a certain look and a smile, tell her I love her very much. It normally works. So we very rarely argue. And if we do, it's about sort of petty issues, but not arguing, just getting on and sorting things out as a healthy couple. So my love, my darling, my best friend, my soulmate, I love you to bits. I want the public to know that. It's our 10th anniversary tomorrow. I thank you for being in my life. I thank you for being in the children's lives. You have enhanced so many people's lives, including this as a family. I look forward to the next 10 years. I hope they go a lot slower. And I hope we can really enjoy our day tomorrow and in each other's company. And Watchtower, you're finished. You didn't ruin this relationship. And what's more, as a result of your oppression and those that your agents of control locally who tried to break us up, who tried to make our lives miserable, it didn't work. It made us stronger. In fact, it made us even more loving. And we've trained ourselves. We've learnt to adapt and raise ourselves above the depravity that you preach about your hating, and the weapon of using family. It's disgusting and it will never work. And many people are seeing this. The fact I'm doing this video now is proof that this is one couple that have not only beaten you, but have come out and expressed and exposed you as a charlatan, as a false prophet. And that's exactly what you are. You've made us stronger. And we're so grateful that we can actually use the social media that you once condemned and now try to use yourselves. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you are an activist out there, keep fighting, keep exposing, keep it legitimate. And those that are in split families, those that are thinking of leaving, never give up hope, never fall into despair. Work out ways to network, share your knowledge, share how you feel. If you haven't got a partner that you can talk to, find other people. Find positive people that you can share with, people of like-minded ilk to you, and get yourself out of that religion. Get yourself into a recovery program that suits you. It will involve reading, it will involve watching, it will involve networking, it will involve sharing, it will involve being in love with yourself. Because that's so important in order to recover, to really love yourself first. And it's only then you can start assisting others and looking after others. But avoid despair, because that's exactly where they want to keep you. Avoid guilt, that's exactly where they want to keep you. Avoid all of those entrapments of things where they say you can't enjoy life. Birthdays, Christmas, celebrations, being with people outside of the cult is something that they will try to instill in your guilt head not to do, and therefore keeping you miserable, therefore keeping you enslaved. Get rid of it all. My wife is a perfect example of that, and I will big her up today. I will. She's not perfect, none of us are. We really aren't, none of us are. But if you're looking for an example, then I would look to my wife, and I use her as an example. She's my inspiration. She's wonderful. And she's done nothing other than take the knocks, take the pain, cry about it. She gets it out of her system, then realizes that I'm going to learn from this, I'm going to be stronger for this, and I'm going to help others and surround myself with people that love me as much as I love myself and love other people. And then we share it around, and before we know it, we've propelled ourselves, all of us, to another level. That's why I love her. It's for all of those reasons, as well as fixing the toaster. So, love you to bits, darling, and happy anniversary. Thank you to everybody for listening to this. And as for Watchtower, your days are truly numbered. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.